What does a $500,000 retirement look like? It could look like this. If you have $500,000 in your retirement nest egg, what you have to do is you have to look for a place with a lower standard of living, lower prices. I mean, I got this house after searching for about 6 months. 6 months. But I would have never been able to get this in Los Angeles, where I lived for 30 years and where I worked. There's no way. So if you're retiring on moderate income, you need to really figure out where you're going to live. Where are you going to live? You can have something nice like I got, but you need to do your research. Where is a cheaper place to live? Where is something that you get for a decent amount of money? That's number one. Number two, you're going to have to search for bargains when you buy stuff. Behind me, as you can see, I've got some decorations up there. I got most of those for under 30 bucks. Takes a while to dig for them, but you can find them. They're out there. When you retire on $500,000, obviously that's moderate income, right? For those of you who are seeing me for the first time, my name is Duane. I retired on a little over $500,000 in August of 2021. If any of you are looking for strategies on how to retire on $500,000, because you don't need $1 million, guys. I know everyone says that out there in the retirement universe. You don't need it. I retired early too, on my 59th birthday. But if you're going to do that, you really have to look and, really decide how you're going to do that, because it's not like a million or $2 million retirement. You're going to have to make some decisions. So if you're interested in that, think about subscribing. And if you like the video, please like it as well. And if you really like it, really, really like it, you can buy me a coffee down in the description below. So number two was hunt for bargains. Hunt for bargains in whatever you get. That makes such a big difference. And if you really hunt, you can find some good stuff. Which brings us to number three. You got to get an economical car. It's just a little Kia Soul, and behind them are 3 Suns that I got for $5 a piece. Woo! Hey, I was hunting that day. So let me give you a little story on my automobile. Nice little 2018 Kia Soul that I purchased for about $16,000. The car I had before that was a 2017 BMW X3. Beautiful car. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. But I got about 6 months into retirement and I said to myself, do I really want to continue this $300 a month car payment? No. So I sold the beautiful car, fun, great to look at, and I bought this one for cash. 0 monthly payments. When you're on moderate income, you got to think about those things. Got to think about them. Hopefully, if you can do it before you go into retirement, that's even better. I didn't. It took me a while to figure it out. Okay. Number 4, as you can see beside me, here is a 5th wheel, which unfortunately has a little bit of a leak of the AC on top, which got to fix that up. But another thing to consider if you're retiring on moderate income is you might need to bring some cash in to supplement your income. And if you run into the problem I did when I retired, which was sequences of it. Yeah, can you understand that? I can't either. I'm going senile. Sequence of returns risk, which hammered me about 5-6 months into my retirement. You might have to look at something like that RV, which I am looking to put on Airbnb. Now, can I get by on just my, $500,000? Well, it's lower than $500,000 now, nest egg, because of the sequence of returns risk. Can I get by on just that? Yes. But if I could get some income from this coming in via Airbnb, that'll make me sleep a lot better at night. These are things you have to think about when you retire on moderate income. It's not just going to be, boom, I'm retired and that's it. No, you got to really think about these things. I think I can do this on here. I mean, if you come over to this side of the RV, that's the view you get from the RV. We'll see if it works. Number 5, when you retire on moderate income, sure, you can take vacations. You can take vacations anytime you want, but limit the amount that you spend on these vacations. You got to be very frugal, okay? Hey, if you want to go to Europe for vacation, do it. Just don't do it every year. As I've said in videos before, you can still do it. You just got to be smart with your vacations, right? You're on a limited budget. You're on a limited retirement nest egg. Be smart with that. Number 6, and this should go without saying. I mean, if you're one of those who, when you were working, like to go to expensive meals, if you're retiring on moderate income, you got to limit that. Sure, you can do it once in a while, just like vacations, right? But be frugal for the most part on your meals, you know? Go out to a nice dinner. We just went out for my birthday a couple days ago and to a great meal. My girlfriend treated me. It was awesome. But we don't do that very often, just once in a while. Number 7, again, along with this RV here, you might need to get some part-time work. Might not have thought of that going into it, but if you're on moderate income, remember, you might need some of that, especially if you hit a rough patch right after you retire, which I did with Sequence of Returns Risk. So I am doing this YouTube channel. That's bringing me in part-time income. It's worked out great. It can be anything. It could be online work. It could be, you could, go to work at Walmart, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy. But you know what? Be like a part-time forest ranger. Wouldn't that be cool? Do something like that. But you, on moderate income, might have to bring that part-time income in. Something to think about. Number 8, you really need to look at where your costs are going out on a monthly basis via budgeting when you retire on moderate income. There could be some subscriptions you never use anymore for magazines or for whatever it is. There could be a health club you don't go to anymore. When you're on moderate income, you got to think about those things. Cut out what doesn't make sense anymore. It's all pretty easy when you think about it, but it does take discipline to do that. But if you haven't been to the health club in a year, you might think about just canning that, right? There's all kinds of stuff you can do for your health at home. I work out 3 days a week, light weights, and I also walk. You don't need a health club, right? And number 9, the last one I got for you today. Limit expensive gifts. Now, I know when you're retired, you have a big wad of money you're sitting on, right? Don't let that go to your head, guys. You might have family members that you're like, hey, you know what? Johnny's graduating this year. Why don't I get him, I don't know, we'll get him a nice used car. Okay, great thought. But if you're retiring on $500,000, can you really afford to do that? I don't know. You better think twice about that one. So yeah, just gifts in general. Some people are very generous. Sure, give gifts. Do it once in a while. Don't make them too expensive. All right? So when you retire on $500,000, you can have a great retirement. You really can. You just have to be smart in what you're doing.